The Fred A. and Barbara M. Erb Family Foundation, nurturing environmentally healthy and culturally vibrant communities in metropolitan Detroit, and supporting initiatives to restore the Great Lakes Basin. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. The EPA leads a task force of 15 federal agencies and departments to implement the President's Great Lakes Restoration Initiative. And by the International Joint Commission, assessing progress, providing advice, and engaging the public under the U.S.-Canada Great Lakes Water Quality Agreement.
And joining me now is Dr. Larry Robinson. He is the Assistant Secretary for Management and Conservation with the U.S. Department of Commerce and NOAA. Thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Robinson.
Well, thank you, Christy. It's my pleasure to be here.
For people at home, why don't you explain what NOAA is and what they do?
NOAA is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. People know a lot about the Weather Service that constitutes a large part of NOAA, but we have other line offices, as we call them, the National Ocean Service, the National Marine Fisheries Service, we have the National Environmental Data Information Service, and we do all of those things to help protect our fisheries. We address issues related to management of protected resources, coastal areas, and in particular, as I said, our weather and satellite systems are of great value to the nation. You've heard about the great work we've done in terms of predicting, the path of hurricanes, but we do a whole lot more. Okay, and one of the things that we do in this particular area is through our Great Lakes Environmental Research Laboratory, where we work with the Interagency Task Force on science issues related to the Great Lakes. One of those areas is helping to understand the science around, algal blooms in the Great Lakes and other issues that impact these very precious systems.
So based here in Michigan, you have offices here in Michigan?
Yeah, we have a number, not only in Michigan, but throughout the Midwest as a whole, but one of our major facilities here is in Ann Arbor, the Great Lakes Environmental Research Laboratory. That's the primary conduit for our interface with the task force and all of the other people that we've seen at this meeting the last couple of days, universities, state and local governments, et cetera.
So it's good for your people to be able to bring the science here to this organization, and with all of these different groups here meeting for the very first time, really is an opportunity to exchange some ideas.
It is, and I think it's been a wonderful opportunity, perhaps long overdue, bringing this type of diverse group of people together, all who share some special stake in this region, some special type of expertise, some type of, regulatory authority. All of these are the types of things that are necessary to really help revitalize this system, not just on the U.S. side, but on from our partners from Canada as well.
Sometimes it's hard for people to realize the health of the Great Lakes. They look at the water and they say, well, it seems clean to me. But one thing that people really can see are the algae blooms and the problems that have been happening in Lake Erie. Right. Talk a little bit about what has happened over the last year and what is being done to help combat it.
So one of the major things that happened this particular year that was one of the contributors to the massive outbreaks that we saw was the fairly large amounts of local rainfall that helped to flush nutrients into the system that are one of the major contributing factors to the outbreak of these algal blooms. So one of the things that the task force is working on is trying to address those areas of concern where not only nutrients but other types of contaminants might be resident in sediment, trying to remove those, and then provide habitat along rivers that help to uptake nutrients before they actually get into the system itself. Now, what we do at NOAA is trying to, as we do on the weather side, with being able to tell you, the trajectory of the hurricane, the intensity of the hurricane. We're working to do that same type of thing with regards to algal blooms. It's a little bit more complicated. However, that's something that we are making some progress on, and we have a network where we work with local and state governments, and so we can help, give people warnings about when these things are going to occur, such that people who might be planning to go to beaches might be able to make other plans, et cetera.
What do you think that the public should take out of these meetings over the next couple of days with Great Lakes Week? What would you like the public to understand and know going forward?
Well, I think they need to understand that the president has made a tremendous, commitment to helping to restore the Great Lakes. The task force has invested, over $300 million in the last year or so to really jumpstart a number of projects that are going to show a lot of impact over the long term. So I think the number one thing is that they have a government that cares, but not only that, from the federal side, they have, through this wonderful spirit of collaboration we have seen these last couple of days, people with the goodwill to understand and appreciate that for this to really get done, it's going to take federal, state, local, and our international partners to make this work. This is a tremendous problem. It just can't be fixed by local governments alone. It's really going to take us working together on this.
And a big step in the collaboration this week with everyone together.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Dr. Larry Robinson, thank you so much for joining
thank
us
you.
from the U.S.
It's been
Department
my
of
pleasure.
Commerce. We appreciate it. Joining us at Great Lakes Week and GreatLakesNow.org.
Thank you.